Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So on today's video, we are going to proceed with the employees management system. So we've made some modification. I usually like how the color behind Blazor. So you can see I've actually reused the color for my template. I've just copied the color and added to my layouts. So if you want to do the same for your application, you can just come to my that is shared layout. Then I've just added a style here called style background image. Then I've actually added the colors for Blazor. So I usually like the color for how the color being used for Blazor. So I've just added it for our applications. So that is the only change that I've done. So as you can see on our application, we have our employees. For those who are watching this channel for the first time, we are actually doing employees management system on ASP.NETCOREMVC, and we are linking this to MS SQL. So as you can see, we have our employees records where you can add a new employee, save the employee details, and actually come to leave types. We have where you can capture the leave types. You also have the leave applications. You can add a new leave application indicating the start date, choose the employee, the date, the number of days, the leave type, and do some documents attachments that we'll be doing on our next series. Then once these leave applications are done, you're able to approve a leave application, and you can see these are approved leave applications. Then we have a rejected leave applications, as you can see. Then we now have a system user, so we are able to register a user. So you can see we actually did some modifications to our user details. So you can add a new user. So I'll just capture one of the user details. So here I'll just do that. Then for the numbers, I'll just put in the ID number, email address, I'll just put in test. Then phone number, just put in a phone number. Then here username, I'll also use this as my username. Then password, I'll also put in a password. Then I'll choose the role. So we are now able to assign a user to a role. So if I click register, yeah, I think there is something there. Let me just check again. So I'll just choose, let me do this. So I'll just choose here, I can do MacroCode 1, subscribe, we have a phone number here. Then you can have email address. Then I'll put my phone number here. Then if I do that, I can have my password. Then I can choose can have my role. So to create that, let me just check what is the issue. So you'll just put in a breakpoint for our user's controller and a create. Then we should be good to check what is the issue. So if I do that and come here and say register user, I'm able to see all the details for the user. Current timestamp, created by, created on, email confirmed, full name, the ID, then the first name, see the middle name, national ID, password hashed, the role ID, we have the role there, the username. So if we proceed, let's just proceed. What is the result? We have the result, and it is actually given us an error. So what is the error? You can see the username macrocode at admin.com is already taken. So we are using the username. So I'll just now change here to test1, here test1. Then I'll have my password. So I'll also be showing you how we need to display those error messages on our application instead of having them that way. So I'll just do here. Just do that. I also put in some ID, then test1 here. Put in some phone numbers. The email, we now use this one. So the username should be unique. So then I'll have that. Then I'll choose my user. So if I click register, it should also take me there. So if I step in, I should now get a success. As you can see, it is succeeded. So our user is now registered. and it will take us now to the list. You can see this is the user that we just registered, macro code test 1, and we have our phone number. So we don't have this full name ID number for some of the roles because these are the changes that we did for assigning a username and actually extending the ASP.NET user tables. So if you want to see how that was done, refer to a previous video and you can be able to see that. Then we also have ASP.NET user roles. So we were able to create a role. So you can see here, I can actually add a role here called ICT officer. And if I save it, I should be able to see there is a user role. So I don't know if we actually restricted roles from being created, duplicate role. So if we do officer and save it, yes, you can see it is not allowing us to proceed. So then we have the designations, we have system departments, we have banks. So those are some of the things that we did. So on today's video, what are we going to do? So on today's video, I want us to do some modifications on our application. And some of the items that we are going to do is I want us to create something called system modules. So how are we going to control the rights to access our application? So the first thing that we need to do is we need to actually tell our system some of the modules and the sub-modules that we have within our application. And that sub-modules are actually what we'll be using to control the rights on our application. So I want us to create a table, and that table will store all our modules. So let's just go back to our application, and I want us to come to models. Then I want us to create a model and call it I'll call it a system. So I'll call it system tasks. So these are the modules and submodules, or you can call it system. Let me just call it system profile. So this will have everything that we need to that our application has. That is the modules and the submodules. So I'll rename that to system profile. Then on the system profile, I want us to have a public int, then ID. So that is one. Then this ID should be a key. So that's fine. But I also want us to have so I want us to have the string here. Then I'll call it name. So that is the profile name. And the next thing is to have our, so I want to have an ID int, which is nullable. So on our system, we can have we can have a module and submodule, and we can even have a submodule. So that is how we can categorize our application. So here I'll call it profile ID. Then I'll call it here. So a module can be a submodule for another module. So maybe we'll see how that goes. So let me just create this. So this profile ID, I want it to be within the same profile, and this will be the profile. Then within this profile, I'll also have a profile can have children. So I'll just do here, then I'll say I collection. So this I collection for it is the same system profile. Then I'll do that. Then this I'll call it children. So we are able to tell the children of a particular profile, assuming it is a leave. So you are able to say within leave module, we have the leave types, approved leave types, rejected leave types. Then within these profiles as well, I can be able to tell, I'll want to order, assuming I want to see how the number, the way my profiles appear, I can actually order it by a number. So after we have that, I want us now to come to our application DB context. So on our leave application, then we have application DB context. I'm going to have my profile here. So I'll call that system profile, and we can do that. So this is it. Then I'll call it system profiles. Then another thing that I want us to do on our profile, remember we can actually have our user activity, so that we can be able to tell, we can inherit. So this user activity has the created by, created on, modified by, and modified on. So you're able to tell who created and when was it created. So after doing that, we can add migrations. So I'm going to add migrations, that is under tools, NuGet package manager. Then I can add migration. So I'll say add migration. Then I can say system profiles. So if I press enter, I'm going to get my migration file generated. And after that, I can now add update database so that we have that table created. So build succeeded. So hope everything goes well. There we go. We have our system profile table created with everything that we need. So I'm going to update database. So if I update database, then our table will be created. So if you're new to this channel and you have not subscribed, do us a favor, subscribe. So we notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you have not subscribed. So you can see that we have now create table system profiles. It has the ID, name, profile ID, order, created by, all this. So because we have everything in order, so I'm going to generate, I'm going to scaffold. So I'm doing add new scaffolded item. Then I'll choose MVC, then MVC controller with views using entity framework. Then I'll now choose my model, which is system profile. So I'll just come back here. Then I'll choose here application DB context, and this is my system profile. Then I'll generate. So our app will generate the code, that is the CRUD, for creating, modifying, deleting, and updating. So let's just wait and see how this comes up. So we are going to build this application to capture everything that an employees management system can have. And it will be best if also we are able to gain more of your insights so that you can improve this application. So if also you feel better about how we are doing, you can also consider buying us coffee and even claiming the source code, which will actually go a long way in supporting our work. So as you can see, we now have this system profile created. We have now, when we go to our views, we should be able to have a folder with the system profiles. So you can see we have it here, and we will have create, delete, edit, and everything. So I can go now to our layout and add that section. So if I go here, I'll go to my system administration. Then I can actually have another sub-module. Let me just do that. So I can have another sub-module. So I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to call it system security. So because this is part of our system profile, which actually will tell more about security. So is there anything that I have closed? I think that is okay. So I'm going to call this, so I can actually have system users there. So I'm going to remove this here. And also roles, I can also have it here. Can have the system roles here. And I can now add another one called now system profiles. So I'll call it system profiles. Then here will be index, then system profile. So I hope it is system profiles. So yes, so system profiles. Then that is our index. So I'm going to check everything is okay. So if I launch our app, we should now be able to access our system profile, and we should be good to start creating one of the profiles and how we are going to navigate around. So let me just launch our app, then we see how this will go. So there we go. So I'm going to log in, then sign in. So if I sign in, it will take us to the dashboard. So, but we have two system administrations. So one should be system profile, system security. I'll have one as system security, and this is the one. So I'll call it system security. security, then update my changes, and this should refresh to system security. So there we go. So let's just wait and see. It has refreshed. So under system security, we now have system users, system profiles, and system roles. So if I click system profiles, it will take us to index. You can see we have now the name, profile, order, created on, and the rest. So let me just change how that appears. So I'm going to also copy some items here for we ensure this is within our data table. So I'll just copy that. Then I go to our system profiles under index so that our table doesn't look boring. So I'll just do that. Then I'll say add new profile. Then after that, we'll say this is a system profile list. Then I'm going to close here. So I'll close div. What other thing are we closing? Div. Do we have another one? No. So if I just do that, control realign our code, and I can update the changes, we should have our table looking a bit better. So let's just wait and see. There you go. You see it is now under system, which is, it has some good, it is within our data table. So to add new profile, I'll also, if we click add, it should take us to the create method, to create form. You see, this is how it looks. So I want us to change also that so that we have a very good form. So, and to do that, I'm going to borrow what we had on our employees. Then I'm going to also come here to system profiles, and I'm going to add it here. Then I'm going to remove, so I'll remove this. Then within our form, I'm going to add, so I'll do that. Then this will be called MD6. So if we do that, then I'll close here. So I'm going to copy this. It should be that way. Then I'm going to close it here. Do that. Close it here. Paste that there. Close it here as well. So what I want us to do for our created by, modified on, we are not going to add. So that will be system automatically added. So if I remove that, I can now come here. That is closed. So you should be able to close everything. So let me also go back to our create method for the, so that is we should be having this. So I'll just copy this and replace it with what we have. So this, then I'm going to say save system profile. So that is our save button. Then back to the list, I'm going to remove it here. So if I now update, I should be able to close everything. So yeah, we are missing some. So if I do that, I should also close. I should also close. I think we are okay. If I do that, this is now closed. Yeah, so you can see it is closed. Then our title, you can actually say system profile. And we should be good to now create a new system profile. So if I do that, and so one thing that we need to do on our controller, we should go back to system profiles controller, and for under create method here, we should be able to assign. So I'm going to just remove this. I'm going to remove this, and you should be able to assign. So I'll just do profile ID. You should be able to assign the created by and the created on. So I'll say created by. You can do, I'll just add code for now, macro code, but I told you you'll be able to deal with it fully. So I'll show you that. For now, let's just begin. Then created on, I'll also add the date time. So I'll just say that is date time. Then I'll say this is now. So that will now add for us the date and time that we created our. So these should be double quotes. These should be double quotes. So once we do that, let's launch our app and try to create one of the profile so that you're able now to see how this makes sense. So let's just wait and see for our app to launch. So for those who are watching this channel and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing, like our video, comment down below in case you need something for us to enhance. So I'll just do that. Then I'm going to do put in my password, log into the dashboard, and try to create a profile. So I'll just say profile. I'll add new, and you now see our form a bit looks better. So we can actually consider having it in 2 columns. So let's just come here to create, and I'm going to have these as a, so this is a row, and I can have these here that way. Then I'm going to close it here. So this is not the case. I'm on the wrong path. So I should have this row here. So if I come back to my, it is under system profiles. I mean, sorry for that. So under system profile, we should actually ensure that this is within a row so that we have it in 2 columns. So then I'll close and update my application. When we come, it will update now. We have the system name and the profile ordered. So we should be having 2 columns here. So let's just wait and see. As you can see now, it has actually added. We now have 2 columns. So I'll but then now what are these? So here it's saying employee. Let's change that to add new system profile. So that's the challenge of now copy pasting. So if I do that, I'll update, then this should be updated to add new profile. Then now our profile name should actually resemble the modules that we have here, because we'll be going to restrict users on what they need to access. So what I want us to do, I'll first have the dashboard as my first system profile. These are kind of system modules, so if you want to understand it that way. So I'll do that. And the profile ID, that means this is like a parent. So I don't have, it is not tied to anything. So if I just save, so there we go. We have a challenge with our system controller. So, and I know it is this state model. So I can just, let me just do that. And here, so I'm going to remove this so that we don't validate anything for now. But after that, so I'm going to, so our application is okay now. So let me just launch our profile, and here profile, I'm going to do name. It will actually show us the name, and here also name. So if we launch our app, we should now be able to save our profile without any challenge. So let me just wait and see how that will go. So let's launch our app, login. I'm going to log in, then check if there's anything that we need to add. So I'll just do that. So I'll just add admin. Then you can say, can put in the password. So I'll put in my password again. So if I come now to systems profiles, then create new, I'll put in now the dashboard, and here I'll say it is 1. So if I save, it has now taken me to the landing page. That is the system profile list. And you can see we now have the dashboard. It is not tied to any profile, and it is number 1. It was created by macro code, created on, and these are default data. So the next thing is we can also create another submodule. So I'll call it employees management. So I'll call it employees management. Then it is not tied to anything. So this one, we should not actually have it here. You see this profile ID. that means it should not be auto-selected. So I'm going to change that. So if we come to create, we don't want to have that automatically selected. So how are we going to do that? So here, I'll just do that. Then I'll say options, value. So we'll have it null. Then I'll say select system profile. So that should be our first value. So if I refresh, we should be able to give us here should not be selected automatically, because this will affect our way on how we want our profile to look like. So you see, it is not selected automatically. So I'll just do now employees management. Then it is not tied to anything, and I'll say this is 1. So if I save it, you see it is actually on its own. So then let's go to leave application. So I'll call it leave management. So this will be leave management. It is not tied to anything. This is the first profile. So to go to the next one, so in our leave management, you see we have the leave type, leave application, approved leave, rejected leave. So I'll choose here leave types. So I'll say leave types. Then here I'll say it is part of leave management, and it is the second item. So you'll see that now our profile leave types, it is with the third item. So assuming you don't want to display numbers on the profile. So if you come to our system profile controller, you'll see that on the index we have index, then include profile. So that means on our index we can actually say under system profiles, instead of saying index profile.id, we can actually say profile.name. And if we do that, our profile now will be giving us the names of our profile parents. So these are kind of parents profile, you see. Then if I just add now leave applications list, so I'll say leave applications, and it is part of leave management. It is the third item, and you see it is now ordering them. So I'll also create another one, and I'll say approved leave applications, and it is part of leave management. I can say this is the fourth, and you see it is now ordering them. I can also do another rejected leave applications. Then I'll say this is part of leave management, and this is the fifth. Then I can, so we are done with these modules. So I'll go to system security. So that will be the parent module. So I'll say system security. Then I'll say this is it is not tied to any parent. So this is the first module. Then you see we'll now have system security is our first module, and I can now have under system security I have system users. So I'll say system users, and it is part of our system security. It is the second module. So you see I'm able to, so if I come here and say system security, I should be able to tell the modules and the submodules. So you can see here I have all the modules for that application. So that is it for maintaining system profile. So what are we doing? You might be wondering why all this. So we are now capturing all these applications because it will actually help us to control what the users will have to access within our application. And we don't want to actually hard code them. So we want to have it here. So that is it for today. And if you are following this video, please like, comment, and even share. Comment down below so that you're able to know that you are following them and you will need more of these series. So, and if you feel you need to support us, you can buy us coffee, and we will appreciate. If it's a hot one, we can also appreciate. For now, I'm going to leave it there. Then I'll see you in our next video, and keep safe. Bye.